Hello, I'm Amy Zawi with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, December 19th. Some interesting update, some good news. The Beverly Hills, California City Council, including the mayor and the vice mayor, unanimously passed a resolution condemning Airbnb's November decision to remove listings of rentals in Israeli settlements in Judea and Samaria, and is also encouraging the community to boycott the web service. The resolution passed in early December, and it demonstrates, quote, hatred, prejudice, and ignorance and hypocrisy. It also said that Airbnb's actions are, quote, antithetical to the values that we hold dear in Beverly Hills, adding that prejudice and discrimination based on religion have no place in our community or our world. The resolution also noted that the city of Beverly Hills opposes Airbnb's, quote, discriminatory decision to move all listings in Jewish settlements in the West Bank, and it calls for Airbnb to correct this action of disrespect to the land of Israel and restore all services immediately. It also calls out for people, quote, to all civilized people across the globe to boycott Airbnb until such time as they desist from these despicable anti-Semitic actions. We find these actions of Airbnb deplorable, says Mayor Julian Gold in a statement. He continues to say, on behalf of our residents, this unanimous resolution reflects the City Council's ongoing commitment to Israel and to exposing hatred everywhere it exists. Vice Mayor John Mirisch said Airbnb is not welcome in Beverly Hills as long as its policies are based on an anti-Jewish double standard. Jew hate is a disease, and we can try to inoculate others against this malady, but we also must protect ourselves against its effects. While we here appreciate the solidarity, emotional, and active support of Israel and the outspoken backlash to Airbnb's action by the city of Beverly Hills, this issue is also being addressed in court. A class action lawsuit was filed in a Jerusalem court against Airbnb. Petition stated that this was a particularly grave and outrageous action because it has pulled the listings from the so-called disputed territories. There are many such laws to review that Airbnb may have been violating both internationally and within the United States. You see, over half of the United States at the state level have anti-BDS laws on their books. Airbnb is a company whose home base is in San Francisco, California. It also operates international and is subject to various federal law. In Congress, there are many senators and congressmen who are becoming concerned that indeed Airbnb may have violated U.S. law, and they are now examining it, including Ohio State Senator Rob Portman, an Ohio Republican who wants to hear from Airbnb on the Hill. The U.S. laws define boycotting Israel as engaging in actions that are politically motivated and are intended to penalize, inflict economic harm on, or otherwise limit commercial relations with the State of Israel or companies based on the State of Israel or territories controlled by the State of Israel. So this is one of the issues that are under consideration. And the writer of the current Illinois bill against BDS that is poised to be passed very soon, if state regulators and boards of investment determine Airbnb's actions are politically motivated, Airbnb will become the most high-profile company blacklisted for boycotting Israel. And that is from Richard Goldberg, an advisor with the Foundation of the Defense of Democracies, who, like I said, was involved in drafting the Illinois bill. Now, this issue on the legal sense is quite complex because the term disputed territories is going to be argued by both sides. Even so, though, if Airbnb wants to be considered legitimate in its position about not listing any properties in so-called disputed territories, this is going to be quickly debunked because it has not removed any of its listings in other territories, including Tibet, some locations in other locations, Asia, and in some island locations. If you just Google a list of 2018 list of international disputed territories, you're going to see several hundred. And you can see them organized by continent and region. And you can also cross-reference that with listings available for rent on Airbnb. So for Airbnb to even justify that its position is legitimate, it has to be consistent, which means they have to pull off of their website far more than the 200 listings they removed from Judea and Samaria. And that, folks, is what makes this whole thing anti-Semitic. The fact that Airbnb has they have applied a set of standards to Israel or Jews that they have not evenly applied to all their other client bases or groups. In that vein, may I also report on some triumphal news from Chile. Then you'll most likely not hear this from any English-speaking outlet except for maybe the Jerusalem Post, because that's where I read about this. But BDS actions at the municipal level are now illegal in Chile. What happened was, in the city of Valdivia, the mayor called for the Israel ambassador to Chile to be expelled and declared itself the first municipality in Latin America to be free from Israeli apartheid. Now, this municipality's decision accused Israel of ethnic cleansing and confiscation of Palestinian land. Well, several organizations complained about this, including one Shai Weiss, president from the Chilean Jewish community, as well as the Chilean community in Israel, that this action is simply anti-Semitic and an outcry or an expression of BDS. So it went to the federal court, who reviewed it, and their decision was from the country's controller that while the Chilean constitution gives local government a degree of independence, it is the job of the head of state to conduct relations with international powers. And municipalities do not have the legal authority to do so. As such, Valdivia's boycott of Israel is not legal. So that's some good news. May I remind you all to visit our website, thejerusalemconnection.us, no spaces, and read our solidarity statement about anti-Semitism and our support for Israel and the Jewish people as a whole. You can sign that as an expression of your own support, or you can peruse around our website and read about other topics as well. Shavua Tov, and have a great week, and have a great upcoming Christmas.